What is up YouTube? It's Bonjo here with another black and white battle, and this time it's against Ryzuma. It's a really close battle, so I hope you guys like it. I lead off with my Aerodactyl and he leads off with a Chandelier, and he goes straight for the Shadow Ball. I know that he's gonna do some attacking moves, so I just go for the Stealth Rock. And as he's faster than me, I know he's Scarfed. Then I go into my Swallow and I predict a switch and go for a Pursuit. So that was good prediction. And he goes into his Swampert, and I predict him to predict my switch and go for a Stealth Rock. So I just go for the Facade, and he does go for the Stealth Rock. And Facade did a bit over half, so that's cool. And I predict his switch back into Chandelier, so I go for a Pursuit, but he stays in and goes for an Ice Beam. That easily kills my Swallow, as it's very non-bulky poke. So then I go to my Exploud, and I just suspect Exploud, so I just go for a stab, hyper voice that finishes it off. And he goes to a Chandelier, and he goes for Hidden Power Fighting. That almost kills me, but I survive with 101 HP. And I go for a Hyper Voice that hits him because of Exploud's new ability Scrappy, that allows you to hit Ghost type Pokemon even with normal type moves. So then he goes into his Infernape, and I predict the fighting type move and go to my Swalot, but he goes for a U-turn that would have killed my Explode anyway. And he goes into his Gengar. Now I know I predict the substitute from his side, so I go for a Fire Punch, but he actually went for a Shadow Ball. I predict the substitute, as probably he predicted some Pain Split or something, I don't know. And he switches out into his Spiritomb. As I go for an Encore, predicting something, I don't know what I actually predicted, but something. He goes for Pursuit, predicting my switch, and as I go for Yawn. Now I predict his switch back into something else like a Gengar, and I go for a Fire Punch, but he stays in and goes for a Will-O-Wisp, and I get a crit that still did nothing due to the burn, and I don't have any attack EVs on this thing. And then his Spiritomb goes to sleep, and I go for another Fire Punch, predicting the switch now, but he continues to sleep, as I keep getting murdered by the burn. And I switch out and go to my Exploud, hoping that he wouldn't wake up so I can do some damage with the Hyper Voice. But he goes for Shadow Sneak because it would have affected my Swalot, but it didn't affect my Exploud. So then I go for another Hyper Voice while he finishes me off with a Pursuit. And so that Spiritomb is at really low health, so I just switch into my Luxray to take it out with the Thunderbolt. This Luxray is a pretty unique one. It has Quick Attack, Thunderbolt, Signal Beam, and the last move you guys see right now, it is Attract. Haha. So its ability is Rivalry, that raises attack if it's against a Pokemon with the same gender. And if the Pokemon is of opposite gender, I have an attack it lowers my attack, and because of that disadvantage, I put Attract on it. So even with the disadvantage of lowering attack, I do get some advantage because of the Attract. And so that Blissey is currently attracted to my Luxray, but I switch out so it no longer is. I go back to my Swalot, hoping I could get off an Explosion, but he just finishes me off with a Seismic Toss, as he's faster. So if I had got that Explosion off, that Blissey it would have survived definitely because I'm burned, but I would have got some major damage on it. So I go to my Gastrodon, and I predict some sort of a non-attacking move, and I go for a substitute, but it turns out that I am slower, and he went for a Seismic Toss, and he goes for a Seismic Toss again that doesn't break my sub, as the sub has over 100 HP or health or whatever. And I go for a sludge wave hoping to get a poison on it. And he fears the poison and switches out back into his Gengar as you go for another sludge wave that doesn't do anything to that Gengar. And now the Gengar goes for hidden power. I don't know what hidden power it is, but it was not very effective, but it was enough to destroy my sub. And I go for a recover to get full health back. And he goes for a shadow ball. I know I'm just gonna stall him out of life orb recoil damage right now. So I just go for a sludge wave just to get some extra damage. And now he goes for another shadow ball, and the recoil from the life orb will kill his Gengar as I go for a recover to get all that shadow ball health back. Shadow ball damage removed. Yeah, shadow ball doesn't have health. How stupid of me. And he goes to his Infernape and he just goes straight for the close combat. I was hoping I would survive and I did. Guess why? Because I have counter. So that's awesome. This is my special wall Gastrodon and it has counter because it has loads of HP, and counter will do a lot to physical sweepers. So that's awesome. I just killed his Infernape without a water move or anything. So he just goes straight to his Blissey and finishes me off with a Seismic Toss. Yeah, so this is my last Pokemon versus his last, and it's like a huge stalwart here. And so I'm just speeding it up for you guys. He T-waves me and he keeps going flamethrower as I had attracted on the first turn. And I keep going for a T-Bolt hoping for a Parahax, which I never get. So how great is that? And a few turns he gets immobilized by love, and other turns he just goes for a flamethrower. That does quite a bit actually. So yeah, just keep watching. And I get Parahax few times also. So quick attack, yeah. I don't know. It was a really long battle thanks to the stalwart, but it was fun. Yo, almost dead, but no. Little more. I got T-Bolt. T-Bolt does nothing actually. I was really surprised by that. T-Bolt. And 3 HP, look at that. Awesome, 3. And he just finishes me off with another Seismic Toss. Yeah, so good game Ryzuma. I really had fun. It was a really close game. So hope you guys like the battle, and see you next time with my next battle, mostly a 4th gen. Okay, see ya.